Well, hi there, Internet. My name's Court, and you've got courtside seats for my review of Spider-Man Far From Home. Thwip! Spider-Man Far From Home is an action-adventure sci-fi from director Jon Watts and Sony Pictures. The film stars Tom Holland, Jake Gyllenhaal, Zendaya, Samuel L. Jackson, Cobie Smulders, Jon Favreau, and Jacob Batalon. Following the events of Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man must step up to take on new threats in a world that has changed forever. So I will start by saying that I'm a huge fan of Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I think he's easily the best live-action Spidey we've ever had. Loved him in Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, Homecoming. Speaking of Endgame, there will be a couple spoilers for Endgame in this review, but surely you've seen that by now, and don't call me Shirley. But yes, as such a fan of Tom Holland in this role, I was very psyched for Far From Home, and it's really good. Now, some of the early social media reviews were saying that this was the best Spider-Man movie that has ever been made. Before seeing it, I might have said Homecoming or maybe Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, but after seeing it, I would still say Homecoming or Spider-Man 2. Watching the movie for the first half, I was sitting there going, I'm really enjoying this is good, but how anyone could think this is the best Spider-Man movie ever is crazy to me. Admittedly, the first half didn't feel all that much like a Spider-Man movie. But then the second half really did, was really, really good, and I was completely on board. It's tons of fun, it's very funny, and there's some good slinging. Now, Jake Gyllenhaal is really the only new major character in this film, and I thought he was fantastic. He's very charismatic, he had really good chemistry with Tom Holland, and man, I loved his suit. He actually has two suits in the movie, not to give anything away, but the one suit that you've seen in the trailer, and then he's got another one which was just so damn clever. Unsurprisingly, Tom Holland is again wonderful in this flick. He's so much fun to watch, he still has that boyish wonder, you can tell he's just having so much fun making the movie, and he and Zendaya have really good chemistry, it's palpable. And I have to say, I was really into their sort of burgeoning romance. That's not a spoiler, it's in the trailer. Jacob Batalon, once again, is very funny as Ned. He and the Betty Brant character have this sort of running joke that's really, really funny until it isn't, because they just keep beating you over the head with the same joke, and it does get kind of old. Also, the actress who plays Betty Brant, Angourie Rice, how is she not related to Amy Adams? The resemblance is striking. I dug Martin Starr and J.B. Smoove as the two sort of teacher chaperones. They were very funny together, almost like an old school comic duo. And Marissa Tomei is just so lovable as Aunt May. She doesn't have a whole lot of screen time. I would say probably less than Homecoming, but I loved her when she was on screen. And Jon Favreau was delightful as Happy Hogan. He's got some great, really, really touching moments with Peter, and I really love that. Now here are the Endgame spoilers that I mentioned. Peter in this movie is still reeling from the loss of Tony Stark, and I was really starting to worry that it was going to overshadow the story. But the movie does a great job of finding that line. Tony's death is kept important, and it does sort of help inform some of Peter's decisions, but it never becomes overbearing. And there were some really mind-boggling sequences in this movie, just really cool stuff that were almost more psychological thriller, and I thought they were amazing. Overall, the visual effects were really, really strong, but there were a couple of moments with Peter swinging, and I said Peter, mind you, not Spider-Man, that just looked for a couple of seconds really, really wonky. Also, at 2 hours and 9 minutes, I did feel the movie's length. I was never bored, not for a second, but there were moments, particularly in the first two acts, where it could have swung along a little bit faster. That was a Spider-Man pun. But that's it for criticisms. I absolutely love Spider-Man Far From Home. It was fun, it was funny, it had lots of heart, it had some great action, a really strong villain, and some really cool Spidey stuff. And let me just say this, you're gonna want to stick around for the end credits. Just say it. Now, I don't have a proprietary rating system as of yet, so I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to give Spider-Man Far From Home, and I think I'm going to give Spider-Man Far From Home a...
We don't really talk about this.
Out of 10. So now I want to know, are you looking forward to Spider-Man Far From Home? If you've seen it, what did you think about it? What is your favorite live-action Spider-Man moment of all time? Whatever your thoughts, hit the comments below. Let's discuss. If you enjoyed this review, please smash that like button and give it a share if you really enjoyed it. And hey, why not take a second, do me a favor, click subscribe and ring that bell to subscribe to my channel for more movie reviews, entertainment news, trailer reactions, all that good stuff. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.